going on, guys? My name is that one guy, also known as Hunter, if that suits your fancy a little better. Now, this is a gameplay. This is a 1v1v1 from my friends Gordy and Spencer. Also, and sorry, I'm a little bit sick. I've got like a sinus infection or something. But I've been sneezing and coughing all day, so if I pause for a minute, that's what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to be telling you guys a story about the time that I almost got caught with one of my friends that was smoking pot. His name, we'll call him Bobby. For this story, we'll call him Bobby. He'll probably be in a few of my stories, actually. We'll call him Bobby for this story. And Bobby lived in a tent outside his aunt's house because it's a little bit, gross in her house, and like I don't even like to go in there and stuff. He lives in a tent outside of her house. He's got a nice little setup in there. He's got some dressers and like 3 mattresses just laying around, like in the corners. And he always smokes cigarettes, like a lot. And see, I would go in there and it would always smell like cigarettes. And every time I'd hang out with him and come back, my dad would be like, "Smell like cigarettes? What's been going on?" And I'd tell him what was going on. I was hanging out with Bobby. And anyway, he this one day we were in his tent, and he goes and reaches in one of the drawers of the dresser and pulls out just a homemade water bottle bong and some mid. And I'm like, "What's that?" And I knew what it was. And he was like, "It's just some weed, bro." I was like, what are you gonna do with that?" He was like, "I'm gonna smoke it. You stupid or something?" And I'm like, "Well, can you wait till I go, or do you want me to leave?" He was like, "No, man, stay and smoke it with me." I tend to stay away from marijuana. I tend to stay away from all the drugs, and all of the drugs except meth and cocaine and heroin, because that's my shit. Anyway, look, stay and take a hit. And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm good." So a few minutes pass by. He's sitting there smoking his pot. I'm sorry. He's sitting there smoking his pot, and I get ready to go. I get this weird feeling in my I get this weird gut feeling, and he's just like, "You sure you don't want to hit, man?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." Anyway, I get this weird gut feeling, and I'm like, "Man, I've got some homework I've got to go do. I need to go and leave." He's like, "You sure, man? You sure you don't want to hit?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure," for the 3rd time. He's like, "Alright, man, I'm just trying to be nice." And I get outside, and I'm like, "Alright, hotbox this bitch," talking about the tent. As soon as I say that, I look up, and my dad's standing there staring me in the eyes about 3 feet from me. He's like, "What's going on in there?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, Dad." He's like, "What's going on in there?" And I was like, "Well, we were just hanging out." He's like, "Well, what's that I smell?" And I was like, "Probably cigarettes." Walk back inside, and he's like, "No, what was really going on up there?" And I was like, "Well, he had some weed that he was smoking." And he was like, did you smoke it?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "I will drug test you." And I was just like, "Go for it." He was like, "Alright, don't shoot that valve off to me." And I was like, I say to him, "I mean, I'm just telling you, if you want to drug test me, do it." And he says, "Alright, I'm gonna trust you." And I was like, "Okay, good." Later that day, or later that week, he called me. He's like, "Hey, man, wanna hang out?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean," I say to him, I was like, I don't like hanging out with people that smoke pot, because I don't want to be tempted to do it, because I don't trust myself with my own willpower." And he was like, when it comes to pot, at least, I can trust myself with my willpower. When it comes to something else, like bashing someone's head in with a rock, I can withhold myself from that, because there are certain people that I want to do that to every day. Looking at you, Grady, if you watch my videos. Anyway, just kidding, I love you. Anyway, about the pot thing, I was like, "I don't want to hang out with you, because I don't really want to be tempted." He was like, "Oh, man, I quit that." So he quit. And now he just, does normal things. Like, he moved down to the coast a few weeks ago, maybe last month. I think he's coming back pretty soon. I can tell you another story about this dude. He he does a lot of parkour. It's really cool to watch him just like jump around and stuff. And me and him went to the main street in our town, and we found a place where we could jump up on top of the buildings. And I mean, it's pretty tall. I might put up a picture if I can go take one real quick. It's a pretty tall building, and we found a place where we could get on top of it. So we jumped up on top of it, and we got up on top of the other buildings because they're like a bunch of connected buildings. So we got up on top. I'm sorry, excuse me. We got up on top of the taller buildings. And we got up there and looked across the street, and there's a quick stop across the street. You know how they have those big canopies above the gas pumps? They have those big canopies above the gas pumps. There were some guys from the city up there, and we got up there and just fucking looked at them and made eye contact with them. Which I don't know if we're making eye contact or not. But they were looking at us, we were looking at them. And so we booked it down to get down. And we just started walking, and we weren't too far from home. We were probably about 3 blocks from my house, from where I live, and he's my neighbor, so we weren't too far from home. And so what we did was we just we switched clothes. Like, he had this big black jacket, and I had a little green jacket, and we switched clothes because they only saw me, they didn't see him. So we switched clothes because he thought he could run faster and make it home faster. So we switched clothes, and or just jackets. We switched jackets. We didn't really switch clothes, but just jackets. He ran home, and I started walking the other way. And we saw a bunch of cops driving around, but I mean, we didn't get in trouble or anything, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I might go take a picture of the building later, especially if I get my phone fixed, and y'all do it. But that's about that for this commentary. I don't really have another story to tell you guys. I'll just leave you with this gameplay. I get absolutely wrecked at the end of this gameplay, man. Grady's a monster when it comes to sniping. He will kick your ass. Like, I thought I was a good sniper until today. Or until I watched this video the other day. Until I made this gameplay. By the way, this gameplay was from... It was from probably a couple weeks ago. 3 weeks to a month ago this gameplay was taken. And that was before I learned how to center, and that was before I learned how to learn to play on a lower difficult or a lower sensitivity. I'm sorry, my words are jumbling, my mind's jumbled and all over the place, and I just don't really feel good. But I've been that one guy. Like, subscribe, leave me some comments telling me how to get better, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.